and welcome to the Oddity Archive, the show whose ratings are sagging worse than Linda Evans's face. Speaking of whom, Miss Evans was the spokesperson for today's topic, but I'm getting ahead of myself here. So today marks the first of, well, depending on audience reaction anyway, may or may not become an occasionally recurring thing around here, and this is going to be called Archive Wares, as in housewares. And the idea is to take a look at products sold via infomercials and off-hour TV commercials. And, there's no shortage of people on the internet that already discuss this sort of thing, but our twist on it, this being the archive and all, the home of obsolescence, is to take a look at stuff just from that golden age of infomercials. So we're talking the 1980s through the early 2000s. And so something like the Pocket Hose Ultra, comic potential that there is very much off the table. But anyway, I figured for this first episode, we might as well just dive right in and discuss the single most infamous thing ever sold via infomercials, and to this day, certainly the most internet pervasive. And hopefully we can boost our ratings in the process. And indeed, it's even more appropriate because it's Halloween, and this sucker is kind of scary. And also the ratings thing, lift our ratings, and this thing supposedly will lift your face. Anyway, heading back to 1999, let's take a look at the Rejuvenique. How you doing?
Well, how does this mask do that?
Well, if you can get the idea of what doing 8 setups a second would do for your stomach, you have an idea of what Rejuvenique would do for your face.
In the mid-90s, a self-proclaimed, read unlicensed and undocumented, quote-unquote doctor by the name of George Elmer Springer invented and subsequently introduced the Rejuvenique by selling them independently at health and beauty type trade shows. In January of 1999, Springer landed a deal with Sultan Maxim Housewares, a company that had already had a nice run-in with the Securities and Exchange Commission over their initial public offering in 1991. Anyway, Springer cut a deal with Sultan to manufacture and distribute his Rejuvenique Facial Spa and recruited a newly retired from acting Linda Evans to be their new pitchwoman. In 2000, the FDA sent Springer and Sultan a notice stating that the Rejuvenique was considered a medical device by FDA standards, and as such was subject to FDA regulations, which unsurprisingly were never cleared before the Rejuvenique went to market. Now, to be honest, I don't really know if Sultan ever ironed things out with the FDA, but I have heard anecdotally that these masks were available in leftover and factory seconds type stores like Big Lots as late as the late 2000s, complete with VHS tutorial. Now, though my gut tells me it was just leftover stock, I've been unable to confirm whether or not Sultan continued manufacturing the Rejuvenique after 2000. Regardless, as of this episode, the Rejuvenique.com domain is abandoned and available. If I may take just a quick little stroll down memory lane here, I actually remember the Rejuvenique infomercial quite well. Now, I was a teenager when this product came out, and invariably I would stay up late Saturday night to watch Saturday Night Live and Mad TV and that sort of stuff. And afterwards I'd be just kind of channel surfing, and it seemed like I pretty much always hit upon the infomercial for this product, and I wasn't the brightest kid in the world, but even then I knew that a bunch of push pins and a 9-volt battery might work okay for your 8th grade science fair project, but not so much your face. Said the grown man who hides behind a cardboard box. But anyway, speaking of boxes, here is the original package, complete with Linda Evans on the cover. And to keep up the AV quota of this show, one thing I'd like to do with this new concept is to take a look at the infomercial, or better yet, any how-to videos that may have come with the product. And indeed, the Rejuvenique did come with a how-to video. And here it is. And this product, given the implied levels of electricity we're dealing with here, I mean, we'd be looking at this tape anyway, But the implied levels of electricity, I think just common sense would dictate that we actually watch this thing before we actually try it. And one last thing before we do take a look at this, I just wanted to show you the cartridge. It is the most shoddily assembled cartridge I've ever seen. It has no latch, it just opens, and there are no windows on the front, so you can't tell if it's rewound or not. And this is actually very, very thin plastic, even by VHS standards. I mean, I could probably drive my thumb through here if I tried hard enough. And so, and I wanted to show you this too. Since we're talking about a product that's supposed to take care of wrinkles and lift your face a bit, I thought it was just kind of funny that the tape, I don't know if this is going to get picked up by the camera, but the tape's a little wrinkly too. So let's see if we can get this sucker to play through at all. Wow, even the tape's getting electrocuted from this mask.
Hi, I'm Linda Evans.
Hi, Linda. Love your soft focus.
On your exciting new purchase. I know from my own personal experience and the experience of others that the Rejuvenique system is an investment that can produce amazing results for your face and skin.
Not mine.
It's a system, not a cream. It can keep on producing those results for years to come. Now, in just a few seconds, we're going to take you step by step through the setup.
Keep rolling.
Of your Rejuvenique system, so you can start achieving your own results. We'll give you easy-to-follow instructions on assembling the system, fitting the mask to your face, and operating the controls. And in addition, we'll give you details on how to get the best results and answer the most commonly asked question.
Like, why does my face now look like it has hail damage?
Complete with everything you need to get started and begin your Rejuvenique experience.
Minus the welding torch.
The system requires very little assembly. It's important to become familiar with the system prior to use. We recommend you watch this video manual. However, it is not a substitute for the owner's manual included.
So why the tape then?
Essential parts of your Rejuvenique system are the facial mask with adjustable straps and 26 gold-plated contact points.
Check.
The battery-operated control box.
Roger.
The connector cord.
Copy that.
The tube of enriched toning gel.
Got it.
The tube of purifying cleanse.
Don't got it.
Sure you thoroughly review the owner's manual.
As far as I can tell, a massive electric shock. She died instantly.
You are now ready for your first Rejuvenique facial session.
Already?
For your first session, choose a place where you can sit comfortably for the 15 minutes it takes to complete a session.
Susan here has chosen the waiting room of her local plastic surgeon.
Gel to be used with the system. Place a small amount of gel on the ends of each of the contact areas of the mask.
Make sure to use only Electron 2 brand gel.
And get ready for a real treat. Turn the system on by rotating the pulsation control knob. You will hear a beep and see a flashing bar in the location display area indicating the system is ready to begin a session.
Or that the LEDs are partially burned out.
This knob during the session to control the pulsation you feel to a level that is comfortable for you.
Let's see, medium rare.
Setting, continue rotating the control knob to the number 2 on the dial. This setting is low enough that you will not likely feel any pulsation when you press the start area to begin the session.
You should only be receiving AM stations at this point.
Release the start area on the control unit. You will see a number 1 appear in the location display area. This indicates that the control unit is sending a pulsation to the number 1 facial areas located on both sides of your forehead.
Looking good, Jason.
Refer to the illustration in your instructions that shows all of these facial areas. There are 12 facial zones designed into the mask, and the Rejuvenique system automatically covers each of these areas 4 times during the 15-minute facial session.
For maximum Lon Chaney-style disfigurement.
From one facial area to the next, you may need to increase or decrease the level of pulsation. This is easily accomplished by rotating the control knob in the appropriate direction.
Well, so much for my reading the Iliad during my facial.
A couple of times, you will find a level of pulsation intensity that produces a relaxing yet invigorating facial while remaining comfortable. And comfort is the key word here.
Comfort as in liquor.
The system will beep to let you know the 15-minute facial session is complete and shuts itself off. To completely conserve battery power, turn the control knob to the off position. If you would like to do another 15-minute session immediately following the first, you will need to turn the control knob off and then back to the on position to reset the system.
Way too complicated.
Start button again. Using the system consistently
Well, my eyes used to be a lot closer together, but oh well.
per week over several weeks will produce the best results. Using your system more than 30 minutes a day will not significantly accelerate the results you will see. After you have achieved the results you are looking for,
Ah! Turned her into Roddy McDowell.
once a week to maintain the results. Or if you prefer, you may continue using the system on the same schedule.
Worst part is, she's only 19.
Generally begins within the first 30 days of using the system and generally continues over the next 60 to 90 days. We recommend you take several close-up
Holy crap, it does work!
before you use the system. And again,
Oh, never mind. Looks like Richard Keel in drag.
care of your system is easy. After each session, use a damp paper towel or cloth to wipe any excess gel from the contact points and inside surface of the mask. If the gel is allowed to dry and harden, it can interfere with the proper operation of the system.
Yeah, it may stop electrocuting you.
Using the Rejuvenique system, and that you will enjoy even more the changes it will make in the appearance of your face and skin.
Oh, now it begins.
At first, some people report feeling the pulsation more in certain areas or more on one side of their face than the other. They become concerned the system may not be operating correctly.
It may cause Michael Myers types to feel a sudden urge to renovate their dwellings. That ought to round up all the obligatory horror movie references for this one.
A person can increase the pulsation level in these areas to produce a sensation on the less sensitive side, which will also help assure you that the facial cushion in this area is actually touching the face.
Obviously, this woman is not using her Rejuvenique correctly.
Continued use of the system will produce a balance in the sensation. Occasionally, the contact areas on the mask may have to be adjusted slightly in order to have them touch the face. Facial zones 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the grounding areas
What do y'all want for $200? Functionality?
to extend these areas to bring them closer to the face. Hold the base of the contact cushion and rotate the top in a counterclockwise direction.
You will also need a wadded up piece of chewing gum and some baling wire for this.
Mask into position on the face. Turn the control unit to the on position and press and hold the test button on the control unit to advance the system you are adjusting. Increase the intensity of the control knob as necessary to determine if the facial cushion is now making contact with your face.
Please note that citrus masks are highly conductive, making them a good choice to beef up your facial experience.
Notes about the operation of your Rejuvenique system. While you can relax and enjoy Rejuvenique in a variety of settings, never immerse it in water.
Like her.
Tap. Doing so will damage the system.
Making toast in the bathtub is totally okay, though. Come on, VHS, stay steady. Only another minute or so to go.
Rejuvenique on a regular, consistent basis for 90 days.
Does not at all count as consistent.
Benefits after 90 days of initial regular use. It is recommended to use the mask weekly.
As weekly as possible.
Special note, individuals with the following conditions should consult with their physician before using the system. Have a heart pacemaker. Are pregnant. Have a history of epilepsy or seizures. Have active skin cancer of the face.
As the lawyer representing the pregnant epileptic skin cancer patients with Irregular Heartbeats Lobby of America, consider yourself served.
Well, as you saw, the Rejuvenique system is very easy to assemble and operate. So give your face a treat. The sooner you get started, the sooner you'll be enjoying results like the ones I've seen,
No comment.
others have experienced. The kinds of changes that will allow you to feel a whole lot better about yourself, especially when you're looking in that mirror.
You know, I just don't foresee these exploratory smooth jazz sessions ever catching on. Now, I'm no expert on electricity, but I think the misguided concept here is that the gel that you're supposed to put on the pins inside the mask is supposed to act as an insulator to cut down on the charge, but from where I stand, metal is a conductor, and liquids usually don't go well with conductors, and the gel, maybe it's only a borderline liquid, but I'd imagine that it would actually increase the charge. So that means I could very well be burning myself alive for your amusement. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Anyway, I've got a bunch of stuff here to show you, so let's just dive right in. Here's the mask. Showed it to you earlier, and it's not the flesh-colored one you keep seeing in the ads, but this one may actually be a little creepier. This one, I think, has more of an alien quality to it. And then it came with a phone cord, an honest-to-God phone cord. And then you've got the controller, and this actually had the original battery in it, but there wasn't any corrosion or anything, and it worked when I tried to turn it on, but I figured I would just swap it out with a new battery. Just seems like good practice. And this thing doesn't exactly make a very pleasant sound, so just turning it on, take a listen. Yep. And then when you start the thing, it makes a pulsing noise just in and of itself. It's actually worse when it's plugged in, but I don't know if the mic is gonna pick this up, but it's a little unnerving. Yeah. And then, of course, we've got the VHS that you saw earlier, and then we've got the owner's manual, which actually differs a bit in advice from the VHS, and this is actually going to be my guideline through this. And then there's a mini catalog of other Rejuvenique products like lotions and creams and stuff. And then the never sent in product registration card. That bodes well, doesn't it? Anyway, and of course we've got the gel. Now, I haven't actually opened this yet. I suppose I should have, huh? Let's see what I get here. And not really. Well, there's a very vague scent. It's, I'm not sure how to describe it. There's a little of it leaking out here. I don't know if it'll show up on my finger, but it's kind of a baby oil consistency. It has a very vague, I don't want to say chlorine smell, but it smells like something you'd clean your pool with. I get to put this all over my face. So anyway, you're ready to watch me die, aren't you? So here we go. Here's the mask. It's been a fun ride, guys. It's been a lot of fun. Got the gel. I'm sorry if I'm sighing so much. Oh god, it's just farting out the gel. It doesn't come out very well. It's it's not, it's runny. I'll have to show it to you in just a second here. And indeed, there is something, before I go any farther with this, let's take a second out, because I want to show you something. You can see the gel just kind of running all over the place here. And then, if you look here, right below the eye, one of these got blackened. That tells me it probably sent out a little too much of a charge. So, I'm not going to do this at full steam. I think that would be kind of a bad idea. Oh god, this thing's leaking too. So, this, again, I apologize. This will probably take a few minutes. I'd sing you a song here, but I don't know what I'd sing. So, It's very hard to get the gel in here. It's nowhere near as elegant as the commercial. The ads make it out to be the VHS. If you go putzing around on YouTube, you can find stuff. I have a feeling that this gel won't last very long. If you were to try and use it on a regular basis, that is. I seem to be burning through it pretty good here. Burning, yeah. Let's see, I have everybody. And of course we have to hook this sucker up. So, plug in the phone cord and plug it in. And of course it's plastic, so it's very slick, very slippery. Here we go. Oh. Oh, God. Gooey. Very gooey. I don't like this. And it's saggy, too. Ew. Okay, I've got it set. The manual says to set it for 3. I apologize if this is muffled. Let's hit start. Okay. It's not bad, all things considered. The gel is terrible. The gel, ugh. It's more of a vibrating thing. It's not so much a pulse. It's just kind of there. And it takes 15 minutes to cycle through this, so guess I'll catch up with you in 15 minutes. I have a book I'm working on here. So, yeah. Finally. Ew. Well, the gel. The damn gel is the gooeyest, nastiest stuff I've ever felt on my skin. Ever. And it's in my eyes. I can't see a thing right now, so bear with me. I will say this. It wasn't terrible. In all fairness, it didn't burn, didn't do anything real weird, nothing was too heavy. But it's definitely not something I would ever do on my own, and I would really be surprised if there was any effect from using this for any period of time, or even just the one time. This stuff is really bad. I hate this gel. I can't emphasize that enough. Mitchell. I have that stuck in my head now for some reason. God. Oh. Uh-oh. I have boobs now. My neck itches too. Oh boy. Well, I seem to have apparently partially turned into Linda Evans. But you know what the worst of it is? I hate scarves! Well, that does it. I am suing the shit out of Sultan for this. This is inexcusable. And, you know what, I don't know what to say. I have this weird urge to listen to Yanni. Anyway, that's it for today's archive. And indeed, this might be it for the archive for a while, because I'm not doing another episode until I can fully turn back into myself. This is just stupid. Goddamn scarf. What is it, surgically attached?
Stay as you are, 'cause you mean a lot to me. Stay as you are. Oh, stay as you are, 'cause you mean a lot to me. Stay as you are. Oh no, no, don't you change. Stay as you are.
Haven't you always wanted to see my face?